All right, so now it's time for us to get the latest updates of business stories. My name is Kweku Temen, and we're looking at the energy situation in the country. We'll also be dovetailing into the IMF prospects. So let's just quickly take some details. Now, the head of finance department at the University of Ghana Business School, Dr. Godfred Bobkin, has lauded government for efforts at getting a positive assessment from the IMF.
The necessary recommendations and keeping the program on track. Some economists have already suggested it is still early days to see the real benefits of the program, which has seen its first review. Despite this feat, Dr. Bokpin says the performance indicators will come at a cost, even though economic growth will continue.
It's also largely consistent with fiscal consolidation measures because to achieve those performance indicators, it will come at a cost to Ghana, because if you look at the various adjustments that we are going through, these are imposing additional cost on Ghanaians. But it's a painful process, though necessary, that we have to go through.
He added the second tranche of about $100 million, expected to be released by August this year, will not ensure greater recovery of the cedi, looking at its trend of depreciation.
It will not be fair to expect that Ghana government would have delivered on all these things within the first review of the program. So there's still a long way to go. And what is good is that a clear commitment has been shown to doing these things. And if you look at in terms of inflation, and the rest of them, these are not things that you can do over 4 months or 5 months. These are quite systematic. So it's the way to go. Painful though, but we don't have a choice.
Dr. Bokpin says government would have to plan and remain committed to meet the requirements and recommendations which the IMF program brings to the table.
Well, now is the time to get some updates on the energy situation, and here the Electricity Company of Ghana, that's ECG, requires 400 million cedis annually to enable it to operate efficiently. The technical advisor at the Ministry of Finance, Dr. Albert Asamoah, made this known at the Stakeholders Consultative Forum in Kumasi.
Ghana loses about 2 to 5% of its GDP annually as a result of lost economic output due to insufficient and unreliable power supply. The situation forced the country to violate international standards by recording more than 106 power outages in less than 1 year instead of a maximum of 10 outages as stipulated for the period. Government, on the other hand, is expected to raise an annual amount of 400 million cedis for ECG to operate effectively and efficiently. But the current economic challenges make it difficult for government to raise such an amount. Dr. Albert Asamoah, technical advisor of the Ministry of Finance, said the Ministry of Power will promote the participation of the private sector in power distribution on concession basis for ECG to distribute quality and affordable electricity to the people.
Even in this distressed state for now, ECG is able to collect at least a revenue of 50 million Ghana cedis every week. We are the only player in town. We have old and obsolete transmission lines. The other problem also is constrained and inefficient distribution system.
Dr. Asamoah emphasized the need to hype the private sector participation to help solve the power situation in the country.
All right, so we're done with business.